Welcome to this week's episode of Forever Wild Outdoors Adrenaline Adventures. Steve, we're going back a couple of years ago to 2019. What do we got?
Well, it's opening day. It's my stepson Clayton's first hunt with his mom, Michelle, my wife, and something happened that never happens.
Yep. And then fast forward to 2020, we're again with your wife, Michelle, and Clayton.
In an Airpack 90 blind from True Timber.
Yep, thank you very much for that.
And then we're just gonna sprinkle in some stuff, you know, from you, from me, just to spice things up a little bit. But folks, you're gonna love this episode, especially if you love the deer hunt.
This week, we start off by going back in time to the opening day of 2019, then jumping forward to the 2020 gun opener and the rest of that season. And what a season it was.
Take the safety off. There it is. If you can take the shot, take the shot. He's got a big drop tine on him. Take him if you can.
Got him.
Dead.
Rack another round. Put the safety back on. Put the safety back on.
I like that heart rifle.
He's kicking. You just shot the buck of a lifetime. Your first deer.
Hell yeah.
What do you want to do for the rest of the day?
You're buying breakfast. I'm just saying.
My heart's pounding.
He's still flopping.
So we were walking out. Probably not even a quarter mile. Tracks everywhere. And Steve spots a deer in the field next to us. The one that we were planning on hunting. And pulls up the scope, gets a look at it, sees a monster rack. We decide to stop and wait for legal light. Once he had a clear shot at it, and I had a clear shot at it, we took him and dropped him.
We didn't even set up yet. We still got our backpacks on. Everything, we're still carrying everything. I haven't even seen it in the scope yet.
My knees are shaking.
My heart's pounding.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. It's opening day of the New York State 2019 gun season. As you all just saw, Michelle's son, your youngest boy, my stepson, Clayton.
My tiny boy.
Clayton Messmer shot his first ever deer, and what a heck of a deer it was.
Oh my gosh, that thing is a monster, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, how pumped were we when we were walking to our stand.
What a beautiful 7-point.
GERRY RIGHTMYER, thank you so very much for the opportunity for us to hunt and have a family atmosphere. It looks a little dark this morning. I had the ND filter on the camera. There was plenty of light, and we were actually walking to our stand. We still had our backpack on, all of our chairs were over our shoulder, and as we were 50, maybe 75 yards from the spot we were going to set up, and what happened?
Spotted a deer out in the middle of the field, just the
eating.
other side of the hedgerow.
That deer went right to the ground, but because it was still walking and it was kind of a tricky shot, he hit a little bit farther back, hit it in the liver, and the deer kind of ran off and went into a neighboring property. And JD JD, all we can do is just say thank you so very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, JD, the neighbor to the north of us, is what exemplifies a true sportsman. This giant buck runs on his property. To warm up, we were going to go get lunch and go warm up, get some hot coffee. And we come into a beautiful note left on the truck. And
Couldn't believe it. What a nice guy.
JD just sat there and said, hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure it was you guys that shot. And I walked over and I put a finishing shot on the deer. He's still over here. Why don't you give me a call? And met him over there and walked out. He went out with his four-wheeler. We dragged it out to the four-wheeler, and he drug it all the way back out to the truck where after Clayton gutted it for his first time ever gutting a deer, and then he tagged his deer, hooked him up to the four-wheeler, and then we got him over to the old Black Pearl Dodge Ram here. And then we met up with everybody else, and tonight's going to be celebration time.
Forever Wild Outdoors will be right back.
Why do we hunt Hupp Outfitters? Southeast Ohio premier hunting destination for white-tailed deer.
They got some bruising bucks here.
Located along the Ohio River in Meigs County.
We just smoked an Ohio giant right here.
Hupp Outfitter boasts hundreds of acres of rich farmland and food plots hunting from tree stands and oak ridge hunting blinds. A bow hunter's paradise with meals and world-class lodging.
Forever Wild Outdoors Adrenaline Adventures is brought to you by Hupp Outfitters, guided archery hunts and lodging in Southeast Ohio, Velocity Outdoors, and Centerpoint Archery. Tacticam, gun or bow, share your hunt. Carnage Outdoors, waterfowl, upland game birds, and bow fishing. There will be carnage. Using field edge cover as a natural blind and breaking in shooting windows can help with making your hunt a success as you blend in with the natural surroundings.
He's small. He's young. He's like 6 months old. The other one was bigger. The other one was a solid 6-pointer.
After just getting back on watch, the deer are already coming into the field.
It's a big doe.
Not yet, Mom, not yet. Okay, now if you can. Got her. She's hit. If you can rack it and hit her again, do it. Dropped her. First shot on her.
Man, that gun is loud. So this afternoon, we came back out to the same spot, and just as we sat down, 2 bucks were running a doe, and the first one was a 6-point, but I couldn't find it in my scope. And then the second one was a broken off 6. He only had 3 on one side, and we decided to let him walk. An hour later, we had another fawn and a doe come out, and then a larger doe behind him. And I decided to take a shot on the larger doe. It was pretty far, like 180 yards. Just as soon as I shot, Steve followed up with a second shot and finished her, and she's over there ready for us to go pick her up.
Fast forward to opening day of 2020. It's a lot warmer, and Michele and Clayton are once again hunting the same field as they did in 2019. Except this time, they're hunting out of the new True Timber Airpack 90 ground blind. Michelle wastes no time in putting meat in the freezer. With plenty of daylight left to hunt, Clayton and Michelle get our deer out of the field so they can have more opportunities. And boy, did they ever. With all the deer filtering out, the Airpack 90 kept our hunters completely concealed. Clayton and Michelle are focused on a group of doe to the left of the blind and camera because they know they cannot shoot the two smaller bucks, not realizing that the number one target buck, Rommel, has now arrived on scene. The two smaller bucks seem to be about a year apart in age and somewhat equally matched, so for now, just a little sparring. Rommel got his name because he's built like a tank. Will Clayton get it done? Stay tuned to find out.
Why do we hunt Hup Outfitters? Southeast Ohio premier hunting destination for white-tailed deer.
They got some bruising bucks here.
Located along the Ohio River in Meigs County.
We just smoked an Ohio giant right here.
Hup Outfitter boasts hundreds of acres of rich farmland and food plots hunting from tree stands and Oak Ridge hunting blinds. A bow hunter's paradise with meals and world-class lodging.
Forever Wild Outdoors Adrenaline Adventures is brought to you by Expedition Archery, experience perfection. Ramcat Broadheads, hits like a ram, cuts like a cat. True Timber Camouflage, experience total concealment. Victory Archery, the Carbon Arrow experts. U-Slide Bow Holder, what's holding your bow? Wrecking Machine Game Calls, veteran owned. Don't just kill them, wreck them. Before the break, Rommel made his appearance, and the young bucks are giving him all the room he needs. Man, what a horse. Now that is a mature buck. With all of their attention on picking out the doe he wants to shoot at the opposite end of the field, the camera is moved without noticing the monarch that is in the field. Oh, that's gotta sting. Clayton has picked his doe out and lets the Hart rifle bark. Another one for the freezer. See you next year, big guy. Luck is definitely on Clayton's side tonight as another beautiful buck steps into view.
Well, it's the morning of the second day of our New York State regular gun season here. We're at the Rightmyeer Ranch. Clayton, congratulations, buddy. Got a beautiful 8-point buck right here. Maybe 125, 130 yard shot last night.
Yep.
Little bit back. We knew that the deer was gut shot, so we kind of got on the trail. We backed out, and we came back here this morning, and he didn't go that far at all.
Nope. Not even 30 yards into the woods.
Yep. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Steve came in here a couple days ago and put this the air blind in. True timber. Thank you very much.
Now let's join Steve and Jerry later that season.
And the Airpack 90 air blind by True Timber. Michelle shot her button buck 135 yards across the field. And over here in this corner to the west is where Clayton shot his. I just ranged it. It's actually 159 yards. Jerry just texted me. He's in the tree stand on the east side. And just kicked out 4 flatheads that were headed west. So we might get a doe out in the field. I don't know yet. So we're sitting tight. Got my Bushnell rangefinder. I've got my Bushnell Legend binoculars. We're just gonna sit back and see what happens.
This seems to be the magic spot, as it didn't take long for the doe parade to filter out. Uh-oh, looks like this group of girls spotted Steve moving his camera.
I just had 17 deer out there. Took me a minute to get them on the camera. They caught me moving, there's no question about it. Jerry just shot turkey foot at 3 o'clock. It's just now 4, a little after 4. I got about 45 minutes left. I don't like seeing deer blowing out of the field. That bothers me, but not much you can do about it. They never caught my scent, which is good. They just saw the movement. So, congratulations, Jerry. You're the freaking man. My gosh, what? 4 weeks, 3 bucks, 3 different states. Ohio, Kansas, and now at Rancho Del Rightmyeer on your own turf. That's outstanding. It doesn't happen very often to a lot of people, so if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen to Jerry.
Do the deer gods smile on Steve tonight? Stick around for the conclusion of his hunt after the break.
Why do we hunt Hup Outfitters? Southeast Ohio premier hunting destination for white-tailed deer.
They got some bruising bucks here.
Located along the Ohio River in Meigs County.
We just smoked an Ohio giant right here.
Hup Outfitter boasts hundreds of acres of rich farmland and food plots hunting from tree stands and Oak Ridge hunting blinds. A bow hunter's paradise with meals and world-class lodging.
Forever Wild Outdoors Adrenaline Adventures is brought to you by Bushnell, rifle, shotgun, and pistol scopes, binoculars, rangefinders, and more. Dead Downwind, scent elimination redefined. Reveal cellular cameras, always on the hunt. Trophy Taker, always ready. Tinks, America's #1 deer lure. Evolution Outdoor, hunting, fishing, tactical gear, coolers, and more. Welcome back. The woods calmed down and the deer started pouring back into the field.
10.5 hour sit. Beautiful sunset. The shots are starting to go. I had a bunch of deer that were down here that I couldn't see. I'm down to the last. What do we got here? 2 minutes of legal shooting light. And that is a solid doe. She's a good doe. She'll be great for the freezer. Right here at Rancho Del Rightmyeer, I mean, it was Flathead City out here tonight. I mean, it was just doe after doe after doe. You know, I had the help with my, right here, my Bushnell Legend 10x42 binoculars. And I was able to range that deer with my Bushnell 950 rangefinder. It's a big girl.
Congratulations, Steve. Now let's watch Jerry's hunt from earlier that same day.
November 27th, day after Thanksgiving. Saw a bunch of deer last night on the west side of this piece of woods. Steve's over there tonight, so I decided to get down on the east side here. We've had a lot of buck movement through here all summer long and all fall long. So I just booted a mama and 3 little ones out of a bedding area walking in. I'm gonna hang here till dark.
Jerry sees a very familiar buck enter the field. It's Turkey Foot.
Literally covered up in deer. They all came out of this bedding area just south of me. There was a slew of doe. I don't know how many there were. 7, 8, 9 doe. A spike. I still got deer looking at me out in the field. And a buck that we call Turkey Foot. We got numerous photos of this buck on our Tacticam Reveal cell cameras. I dropped him right where he stood. I still got deer off to my left. I had a coyote just slide through here. I almost got a shot at him, but he didn't stop. He kept going. A little after 3 o'clock. Covered up in deer.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve. I love hunting the Rightmyeer Ranch, but I also love watching hunters kill their first deer.
100%. I was so happy for Clayton, not only in 2019, but then again in 2020 when he killed that second big buck out of the Air Pack 90 from True Timber.
Yeah, he and his mom, Michelle, have kind of a great deer hunting relationship going on because they did really well both in 19 and in 20.
Yeah, guess where they're not hunting this year? Guess where we're hunting?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. And the buck that they didn't see last season.
Rommel.
Oh, boy.
Well, we've already got reveal cam pics of him this year.
Yep.
So he is back on the #1 hit list. And I got to send a huge thank you to JD Meelan for doing what you did. That's what a sportsman's all about. To leave a note on the car saying that you found Clayton's first buck.
Yep.
That just doesn't happen these days, especially a deer of that caliber. Thank you very much from the bottom of our heart. And he looks beautiful up on Clayton's wall.
By the way, nice shot on your doe. Thank you.
279 yards.
Yep, very nice.
Turkey Foot, one of our target bucks.
Yep.
That's always cool when you can catalog a deer and then end up harvesting that deer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's freaking pretty cool.
It is. What do we got coming up next week?
Next week, we are back down at Hupp Outfitters in
Yep.
Southeast Ohio, and we are doing a late season Doa-palooza, which is a lot of fun, and man, did we get stuff done
Yeah, we
in
did.
a short period of time. Folks, check out next week. Why, Jerry? Because it's fun.
Oh, yeah. And
You're gonna love it.
You're going to love it. That's for sure. Take care.